A certain longing in the human heart to see what is not seen by our two eyes, to hear what is not heard by our ears, to touch what cannot be touched by our hands and feet, and to know what is beyond our thoughts and imagination. And above all, to love and celebrate the grandeur of the universe in its rich fecundity. This longing, this yearning has had a long and abiding presence in the human evolution. This longing is, I believe, what is at the root of Bhakti, an intense love for the divine and its myriad expressions in dance and music, in poetry and perennial philosophy, in imagination and in reflection, in wondering and in wandering. Perhaps more than anywhere else, this longing for the divine has its most scintillating expressions here in India over centuries and millennia, and in every corner of this vast and varied land, from the snow-laden Himalayas to Kanyakumari, from the sun-parched deserts of Rajasthan to the ghats of Ganga and Kashiji, from the valleys of Kashmir to the fields of Punjab, to Gujarat, to Maharashtra, to Bengal, to Kerala, to Tamil Nadu, everywhere. It has been called Bhakti movement, but it is, I believe, an outburst of individual geniuses of the spirit who sought the love of the divine and celebrated it as though mesmerized and intoxicated with it. One such lover of the divine in 13th century Germany, Meister Eckhart, declared, "Divinity is an underground river that no one can stop and no one can dam up." Those who have dared to dive into this river of divinity have emerged with pearls of extraordinary beauty and continue to enchant us today, day after day, year after year, century after century. Such experience of the divine and love and Ananda that emanates from it, in the words of Sri Aurobindo, are the last word of being, the secret of secrets, the mystery of mysteries. There is nothing, Sri Aurobindo said, which is beyond the reach of a God lover, a lover of God, a true Bhakta, or is denied to him, for he is the favorite of the divine lover and the self of the beloved. Piye pyala ho matwala pyala naam hari raskare. Dance, my heart, dance today with joy. Mad with joy, life and death dance to the rhythms of this music. The hills and the seas and the earth dance, dance, dance. Lali mere lal ki, jit dekhun tit lal. Lali dekhan main bhi ho gayi lal. Lali mere lal ki, jit dekhun tit lal. Lali dekhan main bhi ho gayi lal. Wherever my eyes turn, I see the light of my beloved. Oh, dear friends, when I reached out to touch it, I too became part of that light. Kabira hariras yupiya, baki rahina thak, paka kalash Kumar ka, chadhyana duji bar. Oh, friends, so drunk am I with the love of the divine, that all my ambivalence is gone forever. A potter's bowl once baked in the fire is not turned on the wheel again. I share with you here the wonders and insights of three of the great Bhaktas, lovers of the divine in India: Kabir, Mira and Guru Nanak, and how and why over the past 5 centuries, they continue to be adored, celebrated, revered, far, far more today than possibly ever before, for their visionary verses, for their eternal message of love and oneness, all so exquisitely and simply expressed in their songs and couplets in the most earthly words and metaphors. All 3 of them, Mira, Guru Nanak, Kabir, are hailed as great poets, as sages and seers, as visionaries, as inspiring teachers and gurus who opened new windows to an eternal light, and who did so lovingly, melodiously, and above all, courageously, and sometimes defiantly, even outrageously, provocatively. मन का फेरत युग भया, गया ना मन का फेर, कर का मन का छोड़ने के, अरे मन का फेर. For eons you have been moving the beads in your hand, yet nothing has moved in your heart. Oh, dear friend, leave aside the beads. Open your hands. Let the heart turn. पढ़ पढ़ के पत्थर भयो, लिखी लिखी भयो जो ईंट, कहे त कबीर प्रेम की लागन एक ही छींट. Oh dear friend, what a stone you have become, ever absorbed in intellectual pursuits. Not a drop of love has touched you. Remember, without love it's all worthless and dreary. None of these 3 poet sages was born in a priestly class. None of them was a philosopher or a scholar. None of them was steeped in classicism or in Sanskrit or Persian. None of them was versed in the Vedas or the Upanishads. But all 3 of them, like many other Bhaktas all over India and over millennia, were ardent lovers of divine. They spoke from the depths of their heart, their soul, from the joy and ecstasy of their experience of the divine, of divine love. And all 3 of them, in their own times and over the centuries, deeply touched the hearts and minds of the young and the old, the unlettered and the scholars, the peasants and the students, the musicians and the dancers, the poets and the preachers, everyone whose heart throbbed, however little, however much, beyond the mundane, beyond the stultifying powers of worldly pretensions, for a certain glimpse of eternal truth. जब मैं था तब तू नहीं, अब तू है तो मैं नहीं, प्रेम गली अति सांकरी, इसमा दो नहा समाई. When I was enwrapped in myself, oh my beloved, your face was hidden from me. Now that I see you, I'm no more I. I know now that the path of love is much too narrow. 2 cannot walk here, only one. जल में कुंभ है, कुंभ में जल, बाहर भीतर पानी, फुटा कुंभ, जल जल ही समाना, यही तत् कहे ज्ञानी. We are all like a bowl of clay floating in the river, water inside, water outside. Once this bowl is shattered, what is inside? What is outside? Oh, dear friends, it's all one. "400 years ago, in the 16th century, Mira, Mirabai, Sant Mira, lit such a fierce lamp of divine love that it continues to illuminate the steps of every man and woman who has sought to discover the joys of love. Mira, like the great sages over 2,000 years ago, the Buddha and Mahavira, came from a princely family in Rajasthan. Married at a young age, according to the customs of the day, into another princely family, Mira was, in her heart and soul, and no less in her body and mind, married to no man, any man, however handsome, however strong, however princely. She refused to be married to any man here on earth, but only to Giridhar, to Krishna, the divine lover. Mere to Giridhar Gopal, dusra na koi, jaake sir mor mukut, mero pati soy. Krishna alone is my lover, the one who is adorned with the crowns of peacock feathers. He alone is my husband, my lover, no one else, no one else. What a scandal such an assertion by a young bride of a prince would cause in a palace 400 years ago. One can only imagine. The scandal it was, an utter outrage, never heard of, never imagined. It is this outrage, this defiance of worldly power and authority, that is, I believe, at the heart of bhakti, of true lovers of the divine. It is said that those who are in love with power can never understand the power of love. It is thus the princes and kingdoms have come and gone, but the power of divine love that Mira celebrated endures, thrives decade after decade, century after century. Ansuvan jala sincha sincha, prema beli boy, bhakta dekha raji bhai, jakta dekhi roi. With ever-flowing tears of my longing, I have nourished this wine of love. Lovers of the divine rejoice in it. Wielders of the power trample over it. लगा लो मुझे अधरों से अपने कि मैं बांस से बांसुरी बन जाऊं. Oh, my beloved, Mira invokes Krishna, the great flute player. Oh, my beloved, touch me with your lips. So from a piece of bamboo, I can become a flute. हेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी, मेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, घायल की गति घायल जाने, जो कोई घायल होए. Oh, I'm so intoxicated in love, so anguished in my longing for my beloved. Who can comprehend such joyous anguish? Only he who is struck with the arrows of such love. Only he. Only he. Over these 4 centuries, Mira's love for Krishna, sung in hundreds of songs, has come to be the most exquisite and eternal expression of love. That undying longing for love in every human heart, since time immemorial and forever. Man is born of love, writes evolutionist Lauren Isley. And he exists by reason of a love more continuous than any other form. No creature in the world demands more love than man. No creature is less adapted to survive without it. It can be said that love, in all its myriad expressions, is at the very heart of the very being of man, of human being. Love and Ananda are the last word of being, as Aurobindo elucidated, the secret of secrets, the mystery of mysteries. Pothi pad pad jagmua, pandit bhaya na koe, dhai aakar prem ka, padhai so pandit hoye. Ah, there is many a scholar who've read all the books, but only rarely is there a man of knowledge. Oh, dear friend, to be a man of true knowledge, one needs to read only one word, and that word is love. In India, Krishna is of course the embodiment and spirit of eternal love. Radha Krishna, the Ras Leela in Madhuban, the gopis, the bansuri, the eternal flute, the seduction, the flirtation, the union, the separation, viraha, all these and much, much more fill the stories, the songs, the dances, the painting, the sculptures, the fables, all are the very heart and soul of India. Every grain of sand, every stone, every blade of grass, every tree in every forest, every river bank, every valley, every mountain peak seems to reverberate with Krishna and his love, his dalliances, his promises, his eternal presence. मैं जो जानती प्रेम करियो दुख घनेरो होए नगर ढंढूरा पीटती प्रेम करियो ना खोए प्रेम करियो ना खोए. Oh, my beloved, had I known the pangs of love, I would have declared from door to door, love not, love not. Such dalliances of love, of divine love, for a Bhakta like Mira is the only path to mukti, to liberation. Chamka, tamka, hansi saska, maska, jhapta, laptani, yeh jhinahi rati, so rati mukti, or mukti ati hani. In love there is laughter and sobbing, moaning, throbbing, clasping in sumptuous embrace. That alone is true liberation for me. Who cares for any other? For Mira, in ecstasy, despite many attempts by her royal family to curtail her, slander her, even poison her, Mira's steadfast love and longing for Krishna only thrived and blossomed until it is believed she submerged into the image of Krishna in Vrindavan. Pag ghungru bandh mira nachi re. Pag ghungru bandh mira nachi re. Main to Narayan ki आप ही होगी दासी रे. लोग कहें मीरा भई बावरी, नयन कहे कुल नासी रे. विष का प्याला राणा जी भेजो, पीवत मीरा हांसी रे. मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, सहज मिले अविनाशी रे. I dance in joyous abandon, I dance. They offered me poison, but I drank it away as Amrit. They're outraged by my dance, but my beloved is so pleased with it. Mira, it may be observed, started no panth, no sect, no spiritual movement. She was a Bhakta, a lover of the divine, of Krishna. She saw his presence everywhere. For her, all who loved Krishna were gopis. They were all brides, brides of Krishna, as nuns are brides of Christ. In these 400 years, Mira has been and continues to be an essential and most enriching part of the ever-throbbing soul of India. Her songs are sung by one and all, by great musicians, by peasants, by brides, by dancers, by lovers. Her life is portrayed and celebrated in plays and films, in paintings and fables. There is rarely any other woman in the spiritual history of the world who has touched so many and for so long and so deeply, so enchantingly. Mira is indeed immortal. She is forever. In the 15th century, in year 1469, descended a great luminary in India who opened yet another eternal door to the divine. His name was Nanak. He has come to be known, loved, honored and revered as Guru Nanak Dev. He is the first Guru and the founder of Sikhism, a faith and a movement that thrives all over the world, but most abundantly in India, in Punjab. From all accounts, 15th century was the worst of times in India, full of religious turmoil and social distraught. What was to emerge then in an ordinary family in a village in West Punjab, now in Pakistan, was a true messenger of peace and human unity, all inspired by the great tenets of Bhakti. He saw and experienced the presence of the divine everywhere, in every field, in every valley, under every tree. He heard certain divine music in the flow of every river, in the rustling of every leaf, in the cry of every child, and in the sobs of every forlorn. Bhakti, devotion to the divine, has several expressions: listening, shravan, music, kirtan, remembrance, simran, following the footsteps of a master, padasevana, sarvesa, archana, seva, singing in celebration, vandana, obedience to the inner calling, dashabhava, friendship with a fellow seeker, mitrata, self-surrender, atmanavedan. Nanak subscribed to them all. But the best form of bhakti, he said, was prema bhakti, to have a loving devotion to the divine, to be a true lover of the divine. To love the divine, he surmised, is to love all humans, whoever they are, and however they are, and in fact love and celebrate all creation. Prabhu mere pritam pran pyare, the divine is my true lover. On one occasion, Nanak fell asleep with his feet towards Makkah. An outraged mullah reprimanded him. He said, "If you think I show disrespect by having my feet towards the house of God, tell me where God does not dwell." Prema bhakti nij naam diche, thal anugrah dhare, sumarano charn tihare pritam, hriday tihari asa, sant janape karo benati, man darsan ko pyasa. O my beloved, I come to you with all my hopes and all my longings. You alone can quench the thirst of my soul and lead me to the ocean of consciousness. It is thus that Nanak travelled far and wide, to Ladakh in the Himalayas, and to Makkah in Saudi Arabia, to Assam in the east, and to southernmost tips of India, always spreading the message of oneness everywhere, to everyone. Jyuntiu prem khalana ki chao, siru dhare tabi, gali meri aao, eti margo payu dharije, seni dije, kanana kiche. You wish to play the game of love with me? O seeker, then step on the path of love, surrendering all your ego, oblivious to the vanities of the world. Guru Nanak's padas, verses and songs, all part of the Guru Granth Sahib, celebrate this message again and again. They are recited and sung most melodiously all over the world in hundreds of gurudwaras in the Sikh temples. As in the songs of Mira, Nanak too sang the devotion that encompasses complete surrender to the divine. A devotee is like a bride, he said, and the divine lover is the bridegroom. Go ask the bride how she won her Lord's heart, he asks. Ram Samir, aise rahi teri kaaj hai. Rejoicing the divine, that is the real calling of your soul. Hariban tera koi na sahe. The divine is the true and real friend. Nanak stressed, as all lovers of the divine have done time and again, that no heart that shuts out truth and love can be the abode of God. Nanak kahet, Jagat sab mithya, ju supna rehna hai. Once you have a glimpse of the divine, you see how illusory this world is, a mere dream in a deep slumber. No word, however noble, no symbol, however significant, can communicate the ineffable experience of being absorbed in the dazzling light of the divine. Akat kahani prema ki, kachu kaha na jaye. Gunga keri sarkara, khaye aur muskaye. Ah, a song of love has burst forth, yet what silence has descended upon me. Like a dumb man having tasted the sweetest of fruits, I can merely smile, but say nothing. Nanak saw all rituals and religious orthodoxy as distractions from the truth. He went to bathe in the holy Ganga. When he saw the Hindus throw water toward the rising sun as an offering to their dead ancestors, he threw water in the opposite direction. When questioned, he said, I am watering my fields in the Punjab. If you can throw water to the dead in heaven, it should be easier to send it to the place here on earth. Jagat mein jhoothi dekh preet. Man moorakh anohi na samjhao. Seek de hariyo neet. Nanak bhavjal paar pare. Jung gaave prati prabhu ke geet. I know what passes in the name of love here on this earth. What games they play. What delusions they harbor. Oh, my beloved, only your embrace reveals the miracles of true love. Jaya ho, Jaya ho. Ik du jifya lakh hoye. Let my tongue become 100,000 tongues, so I can sing the sacred name of the beloved in unison with all. And let my soul mount the stairs to the bridal chamber and become one with the bridegroom. It was at this time, a few years earlier, another great lover of the divine in India, Kabir, was singing in the same vein. Nainan ki karun kotri, Nainan ki karun kotri, putli plang bichhaun, palakan ki chakdari ke, piya ko leun rijhaun. I shall make my eye into a bridal chamber. In its pupil I shall lay the bridal bed. I'll use my eyelashes like silken curtains. And there, O my beloved, I shall endear you forever and ever. Nainan antar avatu, tehu naina chapehu, na main dekhu kisi aur ko, na tujhe dekhan dehu. With thy light, O my beloved, come into my eyes. I shall adore you forever. To hold you as my very own, I shall lower my eyelids. So you will look at none other, and I shall behold only you. A little before Guru Nanak and 100 years before Mira, there was Kabir on the banks of holy river Ganga in Kashiji, the holy city of Banaras. present-day Varanasi. Since my discovery of him some 40 years ago in the mountains of Canada, in British Columbia, Kabir has been and continues to be my spiritual companion, my guru, my inspiration. He beckons me. He beckoned me then, as he does now, again and again, to the meaning of love, Ananda, Satchidananda, revealing yet again and yet again what Sri Aurobindo called the secret of secrets, the mystery of mysteries. प्रियतम को पत्तियां लिखूं, प्रियतम को पत्तियां लिखूं, जो कोई हुए विदेश, तन में नन में नैनन में ताको का संदेश. I write letters to my beloved as though he lived far in another land. Oh, how I forget that he resides here in my eyes, in my heart, receiving messages of my love at all times. Kabir was a poor, marginalized weaver, completely unlettered and at the lowest rung of any social and class ladder. He was utterly unfamiliar with the Hindu or Muslim scriptures, totally untutored in any philosophy or scholarship, yet so scintillatingly illuminated by the true existential experience of the divine. Kabira khada bazaar mein, liye lokate haath, jo ghar chale apna, wahi chale hamare saath. On the crossroads of life, Kabir stands with a raging flame of love in his hand. Oh, dear friend, if you seek to follow me, you must set your house on fire. 500 years ago, in the 15th century, for an unlettered, poor, marginalized weaver at the lowest rung of social and caste ladder, it was not easy. In fact, it was preposterous to speak of any experience of the divine, of Brahma Gyan in the holy city of Kashiji, so filled with scholars and pandits and so laced with Hindu orthodoxy. But Kabir had the daring to do so with certain bold terseness that has endeared him to all lovers of the divine for over 5 centuries. तू कहता कागज की लेखी, मैं कहता अंकन की देखी, मैं कहता सिरझा बनहारी, तू राख्यो अरझाई रे, तेरा मेरा मिलन कैसे ही खोई रे. Oh Pandit, I say only what I've seen with my own eyes, but you keep quoting the scriptures. I speak to unravel the mystery, but you insist on keeping it tangled. How can our paths cross? Again he says, लिखा लिखी की है नहीं, अरे देखा देखी की बात, दुल्हा को दुल्हन मिलेगी वो, फीकी पड़ी बारात. It's not through intellectual debates, but by opening one's eyes, one sees the beloved face to face. That alone is the essence of true love. When the bride is in the arms of her lover, who gives a damn about the wedding party? Kabir spoke of humbleness, of humility, of innocence, of the purity and generosity of heart, of the search within, warning against all pretensions, delusions, distractions. Hari hai khandu reitmahi. Hari hai khandu reitmahi. हरी है खांडू रेत नहीं, हाथी चुनी ना जाए, कहे कबीर गुरु भली बुझाई, चींटी होए के खाए. O seeker, the presence of God is like grains of sugar in a pile of sand. An elephant cannot pick them, but a little ant knows the way. Truth, my friends, is very subtle. Be humble to seek it. जिन खोजा तिन पाया, गहरे पानी पैठ, मैं बोरी बौड़न डरी, रही किनारे बैठ. Deep in the ocean is the pearl, dive if you seek. Oh dear friend, what a scared old man I was. Afraid of being drowned, I just sat at the shore, empty-handed. कबीरा यह घर प्रेम का, खाला का घर नाही, शीश उतारे हति करी, सो पैसे घर माही. O Kabir, the abode of my beloved is a temple of love, not a house of pleasure. Pride you must surrender if you yearn to enter here. One most formidable lesson one learns from the lives of all Bhaktas, lovers of the divine in India, indeed in the world at large, is that those who love truly do not waver in the face of distractions. Purity of purpose and integrity of thought and action may sound like a purist war cry, but they are, in fact, the very ground of a lover's being. More than any other bhakti poets in India, possibly in the world, Kabir has spoken of the temptations and delusions to which human spirit so often succumbs, with a terseness and satire rarely to be found so sumptuously in world literature. Kabir had the daring to expose the arrogance and the hypocrisies of the religious and the political powers that be. He did so unflinchingly and again. Over the years, he paid big price for it. He was ostracized, maligned, threatened, tortured, but he persevered relentlessly and daringly, making him a great martyr of truth and divine love. In his daring steadfastness, Kabir spared no one, the Hindus and the Muslims, the Pandits and the gullible, the powerful and the marginalized. In his verses, Kabir uses words like a scimitar, relentlessly cutting through all that is illusory and pretentious. All rituals and dogmas, any high-sounding sermons or debates, any chanting or prayers are suspect for him because they so often arise not from a pure heart, but from a stagnant pool of dead habit and stultifying pride. Kabir searches for the real. Anyone who falsifies the real or indulges in loud incantations is not a true seeker. Sar shabd jane bina, kaga hans na hoi. He said, by merely imitating its sounds, a crow does not become a swan. O wanderer, what pilgrimage are you on? Where do Ganga and Yamuna flow? They flow within the ocean of your own consciousness. That's where one must dive. All else is mere wandering in the desert, lost and desolate. क्या जप, क्या तप, क्या सम्मान, क्या जप, क्या तप, क्या सम्मान, क्या वीरत, क्या स्नान, जब तक जुगत न जानिए भाव भक्ति भगवान. Chanting, penance, abstinence, fasting, bathing in the holy water. Oh, my friend, listen, these are all useless. There is only one way. Open your eyes, immerse yourself in the devotion of the divine, in his love. पंडित होके आसन मारे लंबी माला जपता है, अंदर तेरे कपट कपटानी सो भी साहिब देखता है. O Pandit, you sit on a throne, telling beads and uttering profundities. But who is it that you delude? The Master knows it all, and all the rut that resides in every heart. Karma to mala phire, jeebh phire mukh mahi, manva to chaudeshi phire. Are yeh to suman nahi. The beads move in your hand, the tongue moves in mouth, and your mind wanders all over the earth. Oh, dear friend, don't fool yourself. This is no way to seek the beloved. Puja, seva, nemabrat, gudiyan kasa khel. Jab tak piyan parsi nahi, tab lag sanjay mail. Worship, ritual, chanting, fasting, all these, O seeker, are like a child's play. Remember, unless you're imbued with his love, his face would remain forever hidden from you. Kabir sings ceaselessly of the oneness of all beings. From one light all has come to be. His unitary vision encompasses everything, heaven and earth, the animate and the inanimate, the past and the future, all touched by the same whiff of spring. To express his vision, the metaphor that Kabir employs most frequently is that of water. It manifests itself in so many different ways, as ice, as waves, as clouds, or as part of the ocean or of Ganga. But water it remains. Or as Thomas Hardy suggested, it is but one mask of many, worn by the great face behind. Kabir says, Jab tak ek na janiya, to bahu janiya kya hui. Ek tay sab hota hai, sab tay ek na hui. Know the one, and all will be known to you. If you are ignorant of the one, all learning is a mere illusion. From the one all are created, all do not make one. Echoing the Vedic refrain, Tatattvamasi, thou art that, Kabir sings, the bowl of clay is broken, inside, outside, oh friend, it's all one. Tu karata tu bhya, mujh mein rahi na hoon, bari pheri bali gayi, jit dekhun te tu. Oh beloved, when I called your name, I forgot my own. I, thou, hail this vision. All duality is gone. It is only you and you and you that pervades everywhere. Herat he sakhi, raha Kabir hai rai, boond samana samad mein, ab kat heri jai. Oh dear friends, I have looked for the beloved everywhere, but to no avail. For he and I are not two, but one. When a drop is submerged in the ocean, who can say what is what? Herat he sakhi, raha Kabir hai rai, samad samana boond mein, ab kat hera jai. Oh, how I searched for the beloved everywhere, but to no avail. Oh friend, listen, he and I are not two. When the ocean is submerged in the drop, who can say what is what? Then he says again, boond samana samad mein, jane sab koi. Samad samana bujh mein, bujhe burla koi. How a drop is submerged in the ocean, this, oh my friend, everyone understands. But how the ocean is contained in a drop, that only a rare man can comprehend. In the 13th century, Master Eckhart spoke of this oneness. The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. William Blake says, to see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a flower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Kabira कुआं एक है, पानी भराए अनेक, भांड ही में भेद है, पानी सब में एक. O Kabir, the divine is one great well, from where we all draw the same sustenance. Many different pots, but the water within us all is the same. At a time when the divisions of caste and class, of distrust and animosity between the Hindus and the Muslims marred all notions of brotherly love and oneness, Kabir sang of unity that transcended all distinctions. Ek boond, ek banmutra, ek cham, ek guda, ek jota se sabje upajya. Are kaun Brahmin? O kaun Sudha? One flesh, one body, one breath that flows in all beings. From one light, all has come to be. Who's a Brahmin? Who's an untouchable? Hindu to main hu nahi. He said, Hindu to main hu nahi, Musalman bhi nahi. Panch tattva ka putla, jeevat khelat mahi. Oh dear friends, neither a Hindu nor a Muslim am I, a mere ensemble of 5 elements is this body where the spirit plays its drama of joy and suffering. Jati na pucho sadhu ki. He said, Jati na pucho sadhu ki, pooch lijiye gyan, mol karo talwar ka, padha rehne do myan. Not the caste of the seeker, but his true knowledge you must ascertain. Oh dear friends, judge ye not the splendor of the sheath, but the sharpness of the sword. Abli Allah noor paya, kudrati ke sab bande, ek noor se sab jag upja, kaun bhale aur kaun mande. The light of the divine is spread everywhere. We are all children of the same Creator. Oh dear friend, from that one light all has come to be. What is good? Who is bad? These are all phantoms of your own mind. जब मैं था तब तू नहीं, अब तू है तो मैं नहीं, प्रेम गली अति सांकरी, इसमें दो ना समाए. Oh my friends, my ego eclipsed the face of the beloved from me, but now that he has revealed himself to me, I am no more I. Ah, what a light that burns inside me, dispersing all duality, all darkness. A yogi's body and mind are like an instrument of music, forever preparing itself for the divine music to emanate. That is the preparation for each one of us. That is the awakening of the psyche. In sharing some of this wondrous beauty of words and images of divine love, of oneness, of Tattvam Asi, of Satchitananda, of 3 of the great Bhaktas of India in the past 500 years, I have tried to fathom some of the secret of secrets, the mystery of mysteries that Aurobindo spoke of. I believe these great poet sages, Mira, Nanak, Kabir, have been essential in waking the psyche of India, as Aurobindo and the Mother have been in our own times. Such clarion calls for the waking are always being made over the earth, though not always heard. 200 years ago, visionary poet William Blake invoked such a call. Awake, awake, O sleeper of the land of shadows, wake, expand. Cleanse thy doors of perception. You will see things as they are, infinite. घूंघट के पट खोल रितों को पिया मिलेंगे. Remove thy veil, O hesitant bride, and you will see your lover standing before you. Among those who sleep, each one lies in its own world. Only those who are awake have a world in common. Declared Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, some 2,500 years ago. सपने में साईं मिले, सोबत लिया जगाए, आंख ना खोलूं डर पता, कहीं सपना ना हो जाए. In a dream at night, I saw the face of my beloved. Ah, how he woke me from my slumber. And now so loath am I to open my eyes, lest it turns into a mere dream. जिन पावन भुई बहु फिरे, घूमे देश विदेश, पिया मिलन जब होया, आंगन भया विदेश. In search of my beloved, oh dear friends, I've wandered all over the earth, in far and distant lands. But now, on meeting with him, my own courtyard became the whole universe. Indeed, we may go to the moon or to the Mars and explore billions of galaxies, billions of light years away. We may wonder, as young Albert Einstein did over 100 years ago, what would the universe look like if we were riding a beam of light? But I wonder, as Kabir wondered, as Aurobindo wondered, what would the universe be like if we became the beam of light? Lali mere lal ki, jit dekhun tit lal, lali dekhan main bhi ho gayi lal. Wherever my eyes turn, I see the light of my beloved. Oh, dear friends, when I reached out to touch it, I too became part of that light. Walking into that light, becoming light. This has been the great journey of all true seekers in India, all Bhaktas. Astu ma jyotirgama, tamsu ma jyotirgama, mrityu ma mrityagama. From evil lead me to good, from darkness lead me to light, from death lead me to immortality. These are the great words of India, are the words of all Bhaktas. And this is the message. This is the opening of any of our psyche, of every psyche in the world.